But let's start with Karinda Jagmohan, who is in KZN, and that's where the talk is about broken water systems, the sanitation infrastructure that simply is collapsing. And Karinda, talk to us. The sewage leaks in Durban, some of that has been leading towards the sea. Just how much will it cost to fix this infrastructure?
Good morning, Oli. Well, they say billions of rands will be needed to fix the broken infrastructure. My colleague Lungelo Zungu will show you this pipeline in Umlazi. That is sewage that you're looking at, raw sewage that's leaking into the Umlazi River. And we have seen similar instances across Durban. We've been reporting on it. In fact, from the year 2021, we have been reporting on it, and then most recently in December. Now, what we know at this point is that there is a current matter before court over the sewage crisis. And many local politicians are concerned about how the budget for municipalities are being handled. So let's talk then to the Abantu Bato Congress's Pilani Mabundla and Action SA's Swakeli Mwango. Sir, of course, I'll also say the former deputy mayor. Yes. Just in terms of what we are seeing right now, what are your concerns with how budget given to eThekwini municipality is being spent on issues like this?
Well, thanks for an opportunity. But let's go back to R1 billion that we promised that never ever came to Durban. So we're hoping that with the budget speech today, that R1 billion will be added so that we can have a little bit more. But what you're seeing here is the status of our sewer or sanitation network in eThekwini that has been polluting our rivers since the flood. But this problem goes beyond that. It started in 2015. So it's not as small as the people think it is. It's, in actual fact, it is worse.
Perhaps let me also come to you now, sir. In terms of looking at how money is spent, when you are at eThekwini Council, how is senior management handling the money that is passed on from, for example, the budget speech?
I think, first of all, there's issue of confusion, where it is interference from politicians with officials, and also officials end up not knowing what to do. That is why at eThekwini you find a situation where you're underspending, because if the money is there, then you end up not able to spend even more than 7%. So it's really an embarrassment to the entire nation that the big municipality like eThekwini can only spend less than 7% of the entire repair and maintenance budget. But also to touch base on an issue of R1 billion, and we hope that the minister can give a light on this issue of R1 billion, because it did create confusion, because President made an announcement of the R1 billion after the floods, and there was never any money allocated to the province, and the premier in the province keeps saying there's no money from national, and there's no way the province can readjust its budget because there's no money in the province. So we're hoping that the minister can able to really talk about this issue of R1 billion and really allocate this money, because the province needs this money to sort this infrastructure.
So indeed the R1 billion is with regards to disaster relief, but only 6% of our budget was spent on maintenance and infrastructure. In your time at the head of the city, when we look at how money is spent, why was it that we spent so little on important issues like repairs and maintenance?
Well, first of all, when we do the budget, there will be an allocation for maintenance. But then what happened, that money gets to be reallocated to other priorities. That is what generally happened. As we speak right now, I was making an example about expanded public works, that from the national fiscus we're getting 60 million rand per annum. But the expanded public works at eThekwini, it cost us 269 million rand. Now, you need to go somewhere and get this additional 200 million rand that you need in order to be able to pay for the expanded public works. Now, that is an issue all over that you'll find in eThekwini. Every meeting, there's some adjustment of some sort that stop doing that, take the money and put it into something that all of a sudden becomes an emergency. And what gets affected along that, it is exactly the same maintenance.
So we spoke earlier today with Durban Business Chamber, Abashlali Basem Jondolo, and they were concerned that the minister is not following up on the money that is being spent. Do you think that there's enough oversight? Visit, I'll start.
No, there isn't enough oversight visits. I'll give you a quick example. For instance, in 2020, 579 million rand was spent over 3 months just to change the street lights, the bulbs. That's all. Now, it's impossible. How can you spend so much money within 3 months? And that contract was supposed to have been a 3-year contract. Then money was spent within 3 months. So basically, we've asked questions. You just cannot get the tail or the head of this. But yes, it does happen at eThekwini.
Mr. Mwango, do you think that after the budget speech and after money is sent down to municipalities, there is a consideration of how the money is spent and an oversight?
There's no oversight, and also they run away from accountability, because when you allocate money to municipalities, government from national level should really follow the money and ensure that the money is spent wisely. Because end of the day, you always pick up this from AG's report. The question is, where are the interventions in between? Because if a cabinet can focus on ensuring that they follow the money, especially because, like this example here, where is the Minister of Water and Sanitation? They should be checking this infrastructure, ensuring that the money allocated is spent wisely, because this money should be channeled where really you can use it fruitfully. At a moment, you can tell that money is not spent in eThekwini because for the situation you're facing here.
And just lastly, very, very quickly, you have to go to court on Monday asking the court to take action against eThekwini. What do you want the court to do?
Simple. All we're actually asking eThekwini municipality to do what they're supposed to be doing in repairing and fixing infrastructure, and also building new pump infrastructure for sewer, because we know right now we've got all these pumps we are sitting with. They were built during apartheid times. There's no new infrastructure. We have a population increasing in eThekwini, but we are failing to fix infrastructure and build new infrastructure.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Zwakile Mwango, Mr. Philani Mavundla from the opposition political parties here. An important matter made at the site where there is yet another sewage leak is that money that is sent from the national government to municipalities is not perhaps being spent in the manner that it should be. An example was made by the Auditor General very recently. And one of the other issues, of course, is that there's no oversight. Another matter is that last year we were told there would be 1 billion rand handed to KZN for disaster relief following the April floods. But according to these men who are in eThekwini Council, this money never came. So we'll, of course, wait to see what happens going forward. But that is, of course, the discussion as we head up to the budget speech and how much money will be spent on the citizens of South Africa, and whether or not there will be oversight on who and on what exactly that money is spent on. But we'll keep you updated in our coverage ahead of the budget speech. For now, let's take a break.